Hi friends, welcome to the Unit 2 Day 2 notes. Today we're going to be graphing linear equations. These equations are sometimes written in the form that it's better for standard form, sometimes it's written better for slope-intercept, sometimes it's point-slope. So depending on how it's written is really how we're going to approach it. For this first one, it's written really well in slope-intercept form, where I can find my slope, m equals -2. It's okay if you write -2/1. A lot of students remember that from an earlier course. And then my y-intercept, or my b, open parentheses, 0, 3. Now make sure that you write your b as a point. Your your y-intercept is not just a number, it's an actual location. Remember, this isn't a location where it actually crosses the y-axis. I'm going to make that point here, and then if I follow my slope, that means I'm going to go down 2 and right 1. Hopefully this is review from an earlier course. If this is the first time you're seeing this, please let me know, because I need to do what's best for you and get you in the right, give you the right information to be successful. After you construct those points, we're going to connect them using a straight edge. Please do so. Please use a straight edge to connect, as this is a line and you are constructing, and that is the graph of that line. The domain and range of all of these, for the most part, are going to be all real numbers. So for this one, the domain and range is all real numbers. For this next one, this next example, number 6, it's actually in standard form. And because it's in standard form, and I see that these values, 2 and -3, both evenly go into 6, I'm going to actually solve this using the intercept method. Using the intercept method, we set one of the values, either x or y, to be 0, and then solve for the other one. So if I wanted to find, say, the y-intercept or the x-intercept, I plug in 0 for the other value. So if I wanted to find the x-intercept, that means I'm plugging in 0 for y. So I have 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. 2x equals 6, so I have x equals 3. So the x-intercept is going to be at 3, 0. And then if I wanted to do the same for the y value, or the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x. So 2 times 0 minus 3y equals 6. -3y equals 6 divided by -3. Y equals -2, that's going to be 0, -2. So these 2 points or values give me then 2 points, which is the minimum that you need to graph a line. Now, noticing that the slope for here is going to be rise 2 over 3 to the right, so 2/3, I can actually continue to follow that trend just to make a few more points on here, so that when I connect it with my straight edge, because I'm not a barbarian, barbarians do not use straight edges, be an educated individual and use a straight edge. So you can see there is my work for x-intercept and y-intercept. The domain and range, again, are also going to be all real numbers. For number 7, for this one, it's written in point-slope form. So I'm going to find first the point. Now, remember, it's opposite what's inside this parentheses here, so this is going to be -1, and then opposite of a -2 is +2, and then my slope is -3. So knowing that, I can make a point at -1, 2. Let's see, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1. Right 1, and then I'm just going to repeat that. And then up 3. The left one. Again, I repeat that until I run out of graph, or the grid, excuse me, to graph on. One thing to note is that you only need 2 points to make a line for a graph. That's the minimum. However, you'll see me do more than that if possible, just because I want to make sure that it looks as clean as it possibly can. So there's work for that one. Again, domain and range are all real numbers. So we haven't really seen anything that looks a little bit suspicious with domain and range yet, and we won't until we get to number 9. Number 8. This one, as it stands right now, it kind of looks like that it's in standard form. I want to point out that it's actually not in standard form. To make it into standard form, you would need to clear the fractions. So if I did that and wanted to turn it into standard form, I would have 3y multiplying by 3 through both sides. Then have 3y minus x equals 3. So that would be in standard form. So if I wanted to solve using intercepts, I could do that. I could also have added 1/3 x on both sides. That would also work. So y equals 1/3 x plus 1. That's also another way. Personally, I think that's probably the easiest, is just to add 1/3 x on both sides and just operate. Because our slope is normally as a fraction, so it's kind of easier to process it that way. So if I go ahead and do that, then that means I have a slope of 1/3 and then a y-intercept at 0, 1. Again, remember, your y-intercept is a point. 1/3, so 1, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 1, left 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 1, and left 3. 2, 3. Okay. So now I connect these. Connect the points. I wonder if anyone is still watching the video at this point. If you're watching the video at this point, feel free to just, send me an email, tell me how your day's going. I feel like a lot of you are just going to skip past this video because you're going to be like, oh, I already know how to graph. Everything's good. So just send me an email. How your day's going? Just say, hey, Mr. Brummond, I actually did watch your video. My day's going well, or however it is. I don't know. Be honest. I'm a big proponent of honesty. Domain and range are all real numbers. 9! Here we go. I like 9. 9 says x equals 5. Hey, what type of line is this if it says x equals 5? Well, this is going to be a vertical line. This is actually not a function. So any value, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any value of x, or any value of y, has an x value of 5, which means this has to be a vertical line. This is not a function because it's a vertical line. There's that. There's my line there. The domain for this is 5. That's it. That's the only x value that you can possibly have for this. Well, what about the range? Well, the range is all real numbers. Because you can have whatever value you want on your y. It's your x value that's limited. Similarly, if this was y equals, you would have the same thing, except it would just be flipped. Your domain would be all real numbers, and your range would be whatever value it is. And then this one, if you notice, there's no x. If I add 5 on both sides, you get y equals 7. So that means and that there. So there's my line. If you notice, my domain in this case is all real numbers, and then my range is 7. Notice that it's just the number 7 inclusive. That's it. That's the only thing. With my range value, I would, instead of writing it as this, since 7 is the only value, we would write it in brackets to show that it's set notation. Similarly with number 9, this as well. That's set notation. All right. Join me in the next video as we go over then example 3, and then we talk about vertical and horizontal lines. Have a great day.